What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name is Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, almost immediately after the first round of Avengers Doomsday cast announcements were done with the chair video via YouTube, Robert Downey Jr. and Marvel Studios took to social media for a quick little discourse to let everybody know that's not it. That is not the full cast. There are more names to come. Now, since then, we've been waiting for that follow-up video, and if this latest rumor is true, we won't be waiting too much longer. We're going to talk about exactly what date now is rumored at the end of this month to have the next cast announcement, probably via a chair stunt, and we have two competing lists from industry insiders that do and don't contain huge names like Tom Holland, Elizabeth Olsen, and of course, Chris Evans. We're breaking it all down, the new rumored casting announcement for Avengers Doomsday, what exact date it's coming, and whose names will definitely be included. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel. Thanks to everyone who's been subbing lately. If you haven't already, I know my analytics indicate there are still a lot of you who watch daily and maybe haven't subbed yet, which is totally cool. I would just encourage you to do so. It's the number one thing you can do to support the channel, plus it'll enter you for all the giveaways. Stick around at the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so this latest rumor that's circulating right now claims that the second round of Avengers Doomsday casting announcements will come on August 27th. That's the last Wednesday in this month, and while there wasn't a time attached, if it's anything like the first round of cast announcements, it'll start in late morning and go for several hours as they go one by one with chairs, with a lot of time passing by as they introduce each actor one by one. Speaking of which, alongside this rumor seemed to be a ton of Twitter scoopsters or rumors flying around that this casting announcement would include Tom Holland, Elizabeth Olsen, and Chris Evans. Obviously Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch, and of course the return of Chris Evans, although it would be open-ended because they don't have the character names attributed. Of course, we're not hoping for a Johnny Storm reprisal after last year's Deadpool and Wolverine. We all want to see him back as Nomad or a version of Captain America. But let's take a step back for just a second. All of these names flying around now, like Scarlet Witch and Steve Rogers and Spider-Man, they're only flying around on the back of the casting announcement rumor in the first place. No one was talking about this beforehand. And they don't seem to be attributed to any of the trusted industry insider sources. However, we do have a comprehensive list, and coming from a trusted industry insider source months before we got this announcement about a follow-up at the end of August. Coming from Jeff Snyder, yes, the same guy who nailed Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom 2 months before it was confirmed, and also was the genesis of a lot of correct industry insider reports, including Mark Ruffalo's Hulk and John Bernthal's Punisher being a part of Spider-Man. Take that as you will, but back in May, he posted a comprehensive list and a follow-up for the next round of announcements that included Hulk, Wong, Captain Marvel, Kate Bishop, Rhodey, Nebula, Clint Barton, Kamala Khan, Ms. Marvel, Okoye, Valkyrie, OB, Monica Rambeau Photon, Adam Warlock, Riri Williams Ironheart, America Chavez, Sylvie, She-Hulk, Wonder Man, Cassie Lang Stinger, B-15, Maria Rambeau, Jean Grey, Storm, Phyla, Mobius, Peter Quill Star-Lord, Nick Fury, Clea, Doctor Strange, Peggy Carter, and Chris Evans is Steve Rogers. But notably, and again, this is according to the guy who has been right a lot in the last year, no Tom Holland Spider-Man, among others, no Elizabeth Olsen Scarlet Witch, no Moon Knight, no Punisher, no Daredevil, no Vision, which is interesting, and no Wasp. Now, I will point out, he's not indicating that they are not in the movie at all. What he's saying is they just won't be a part of this next casting announcement. Also, I want to basically harp on the fact that this came out back in May, not just based on the fact that there was a rumor that dropped in the last 24 hours. Now, that said, Chris Evans being a part of this announcement would be a major bombshell because no one's going to suspect this is Chris Evans in another Johnny Storm cameo after Deadpool and Wolverine. This will definitely be Chris Evans back as Nomad or a different iteration of Steve Rogers' Captain America. And again, while we'll be theory crafting on that for the next year and a half, there have been some quiet rumors that have been circulating that seem to fly in the face of a Hydra Cap or an evil Captain America alongside Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom. It seems like they might be doing something different, but obviously more on that in future videos. Now, if this is in any way disappointing to you, keep in mind Paul Bettany not being a part of this list is pretty curious because Vision Quest is going to be coming out at a prime time for the next part of these Avengers films, and I suspect Vision will be a part of at least one of them, Avengers Secret Wars, if not Doomsday, and so there's not a complete omission from these characters or a chance for them to show up. Although I think it's still a long shot for those of you praying for the return of Scarlet Witch. I know there have been plenty of rumors, some of which we've covered here at the channel, and from industry insider sources that have said she'll return, she's possibly getting her own movie, but I pretty much take it at face value when Elizabeth Olsen says that she's doing other things right now. She's not involved with Avengers Doomsday, and I also think the point is to not get bogged down in worrying about the permanence of one separate variant. Look, if they want Elizabeth Olsen to return as Scarlet Witch, it's an infinite multiverse. They can find a variant of her, again, if she wants to return and they want her back in that character role, but I don't think we need to go cramming characters into this story that have been dead in the MCU for quite some time, even though she's a fan favorite. There are plenty of other things to focus on, plenty of other characters to focus on, and so the omission of, say, Tom Holland's Spider-Man, because he simply can't shoot on that because he's shooting on his own film and just did The Odyssey, just because he's not a part of one movie doesn't mean he won't be a part of another, and just because one of the important characters that we see in sort of across the landscape of the MCU doesn't have a role in Avengers Doomsday, doesn't mean there aren't plenty of other characters to focus on. Now, that said, I do suspect Tom Holland will be in Avengers Doomsday. I can't imagine a world where Marvel Studios says, you know what, let's not have Spider-Man in both of these Avengers movies. He had plenty of time in between Odyssey and what he's doing now for Spider-Man Brand New Day to shoot for Avengers Doomsday, and he'll have plenty of time with their extended shooting now and the movie not coming out till the end of 2026 when he's done with Spider-Man Brand New Day the rest of this year and early next year to shoot for Avengers Doomsday. So could there be a third cast announcement coming down the road? Yeah, probably, which means whoever doesn't make it on the list this time still has a chance to make it on the list next time, be it Chris Evans Captain America, Tom Holland Spider-Man, even Josh Brolin's Thanos, or anybody else. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below, who you're most hoping to see as a part of the story here returning in this next casting announcement. And again, remember, this is a rumor. It's not confirmed from trusted industry insider sources, although Marvel Studios was quick to let everyone know something major was coming, which means if it is coming on the 27th, we'll have confirmation of that, presumably from Marvel Studios in the days leading up. But again, let me know down in the comments who you most want to see in this next round of announcements. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. All right, we're still giving away PS5s at the channel as well as other giveaways. If you want to be entered to win, super simple. All you got to do, be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below. And because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will always be announced live with my voice in the winning comment shown on screen. So please be safe and vigilant on my channel and across YouTube. If you should ever get some spam of someone impersonating content creator, just report it directly to YouTube. They are very swift about deleting those comments. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on all platforms with original music under the name AllFires. And while I would sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.